Strategically located at the crossroads of Nigeria's ethnic and religious groups, Abuja is Nigeria's capital, home to the country's presidential branch, the National Assembly, and the Supreme Court. The impressive Aso Rock rises majestically over the city's central government district. The diverse architecture of the city is reflected in notable sites like the National Mosque, the National Christian Center, and the National Stadium. Daily markets throughout the city offer everything from pottery to local fruits and breads. Abuja is Nigeria's administrative and political capital. It is also a key capital on the African continent due to Nigeria's geopolitical influence in regional affairs. Abuja is also home to the headquarters of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, an intervention agency of the federal government which provides funding for educational facilities and infrastructural development. It promotes creative and innovative approach to educational learning and service, and stimulates, supports, and enhances improvement activities in the educational foundation areas like teacher education, teaching practice, library development, and special education programs. At the helm of affairs in Tetfund is the Executive Secretary, Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, who frequently speaks about his passion that Nigeria must do all it can to ensure that its tertiary institutions rank among the best in the world, especially in the areas of research and development.
The idea of focusing on R&D as a priority area for the academia that our law permits us to fund from Tetfund started in 2014. And I wrote, the Board of Trustees asked me to articulate my vision for 5 years as Executive Secretary of Tetfund. And I wrote a 6-pointer. And one of the 6 pillars of my vision was the institutionalization of R&D in Nigeria beyond the academia. And it was supposed to be, we thought, at the level of Tetfund. Somebody would ask, why bother about picking on an area of amongst the many out there? And it was very simple. At Tetfund, we have the mandate by law of the organization to intervene in priority areas that will improve teaching and learning, quality of education, etc., etc.
The University of Abuja is a tertiary institution in the Nigerian capital. It is one of over 200 institutions supported by Tetfund interventions. The university took off from a temporary site made up of 3 blocks of buildings meant for a primary school in Gwagwalada, tagged the mini campus. The institution was allocated an expanse of land covering about 11,800 hectares along the Abuja city center Gwagwalada Road for the development of its main campus. The university now operates from both its main campus in Giri along Abuja Airport Road and the mini campus in Gwagwalada. Professor Abdul Rashid Na'Allah, the Vice Chancellor of the university, gives the paradigm shift a history of the institution.
University of Abuja was established by the federal government in 1988. Classes actually started on campus in 1990. Initially, we started from our mini campus, which is in Gwagwalada. Now we still have a few faculties, 2 faculties in Gwagwalada, but we have moved now to the main campus where we are now. We have 12 to 13 faculties. We are in the process of starting 3 new ones. We have, within these 12 faculties, we have the College of Health Sciences that has 3 faculties within it. We have it all really, from law to medicine to business to the arts, to to education, to agriculture. I mean, we're a conventional university that has, to engineering. Engineering is one of the very strong programs that we have at the University of Abuja. So it's a conventional university with a very strong distance learning program, So we have students that are spread out throughout the nation that are taking our distance learning program. So Faculty of Education is also another very strong faculty that is teaching, people to be teachers, train the trainers. And within it is also the Institute of Education, that is really doing some wonderful work with, teachers who sought to improve their knowledge in the teaching profession.
This university is one of 12 selected by Tetfund to become one of its pioneer centers of excellence with a focus on public governance and leadership. As far as the Vice Chancellor is concerned, for this area of focus, University of Abuja was the obvious and perfect choice.
So it's a fairly big university. What I always tell people is that we are the #1 university in Nigeria. And the reason I give is that Abuja, our president is here. If the president is #1 citizen, then we must be #1 university. But we don't want to be #1 by name. We want to be #1 because we have the facilities that are world class, because we have the academic that are superior, that are exceptionally good, that we have students who learn what they should learn, who attain skills that they should attain, to be, well brought up, well trained young people, global citizens who will comb the whole world, to contribute to humanity and to themselves, to the national development. So that is the kind of university we are, the UOV of Nigeria, the University for National Unity. And what is more even suitable to our university other than public governance and leadership? Because we are the university at the capital city. And that is really, one of our priorities, to help Nigeria to find the right governance strategy. People have said that Nigerians' problem is the problem of the leaders. Some people say no, it's the problem of the followers. But the truth is that it has to be something little of, of both. Because really, for a nation to succeed, you need a vibrant followership. You need young people, old people who are ready, who are patriotic enough to know that their nation needs their attention, to know that they must be productive, to know that they must work in areas that will take their nation to a new level of achievement. The same thing with leadership. You need leadership that will create the wherewithal, that will create the environment for young people to grow, but also for every part of the nation without leaving any part behind, to feel a part of belonging, to have a sense of belonging, to ensure that every resources of the nation is utilized for the development of this nation. And I can go on and on and on. And now, Tetfund has made it possible for the University of Abuja to really focus on doing that by, sponsoring the Center of Excellence in Public Governance and Leadership. What Tetfund did was to first and foremost give us a 1 billion, naira grant, to do this. I mean, if there are always processes, that takes place, to get this money. And so, since this has been done, we've appointed a director, we've appointed all the resource people who are working within that center. We are gradually putting in place, all the structures of this center. In fact, our own strategy, because we call it the Abuja Leadership Center, which is the Tetfund Center of Excellence in Public Governance and Leadership. What we are doing is to make sure that our ambition in that center is to catch them young. Yes, we are going to be doing PhDs, we're going to be doing, master's degree, certificate, diploma, different kinds of programs to teach people, the best strategies in leadership and to look at different areas of management. But we also think that we must help Nigeria, to think about future. Young people who are prefects in elementary school, who show signs of leadership in secondary school, we want to begin to bring them to Abuja, give them internship experience, connect them with understanding what is the thinking of Nigeria into future. Where does Nigeria want to be in the next 20 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 6 years? So that when these people are coming of age and taking position of leadership, they are trained to be the kind of leaders that Nigeria needs.
The journey to reach the pinnacle of academic excellence has not been an easy one for the university. Little surprise that its principal officer could not contain his excitement when speaking of the role Tetfund has played in this journey.
Oh my God, you can't even, you want me to keep talking then? I mean, Tetfund is just the saver, I must tell you, of our university system, in particular University of Abuja. The challenges, I always see them as opportunities. We need to develop a university environment that is conducive to learning, where students will love to be, where academic staff will love to be, where industry will love to come, where agencies, private and public, would like to come and partner with the university. And we realize that we need a lot of investment in order to do this. And so Tetfund has been exceptionally good in helping us to put in place classrooms of the moment. You know, we're now talking about smart classrooms. We're converting most of our classrooms to smart classrooms. Because when construction started here in the before 90s and so on, the idea of building the smart classrooms were not there. So we have to convert most now into smart classrooms. We're doing this in partnership with Tetfund. Tetfund is supporting a lot of our ambition. We have need for larger, theaters, lecture theaters. I can tell you, if you go around our campus, you see so many projects sponsored by Tetfund that are, doing exactly that. Again, our environment was built without, attention to drainage system, without attention to landscaping that are state-of-the-art landscaping. I mean, landscaping that will create that exceptional, beautiful environment that university normally have. And right now we're doing that. We have support from Tetfund in ways that can happen.
Staff training is an essential component of Tetfund interventions. In the year 2021 alone, Tetfund has budgeted 300 billion naira for the development and training of academic staff of public higher institutions across the country. Over the years, the agency has consistently contributed to improvement of the quality of faculty in universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Academic and non-academic staff members of the University of Abuja are great beneficiaries of such interventions.
But that is just even small. I mean, when you go to manpower development, in which Tetfund is giving us support to train our staff, we're sending them all over the world. And I mean all over the world. Asia, America, the Europe, everywhere. I mean, our students, our staff, young staff are going to acquire, world-class education and to come back to strengthen what we do. And equipment, I mean, there are just so much need, because I said, University of Abuja has to be world-class. And the only way we can be world-class is to have world-class standard, world-class equipment. I mean, we want to make sure that our students are exposed to all this equipment and really, virtually every discipline, we have had support from Tetfund, to put this equipment in place.
Those whose professional skills have been upgraded by Tetfund shared the stories of their experiences with the paradigm shift.
I'm a beneficiary of a Tetfund intervention for the AST and D needs assessment. That is academic staff training development needs assessment. That's helped me to get my PhD from the University of Basel in Switzerland. I'm thankful for the opportunity for having a PhD abroad. There was a major difference, especially in the area of the laboratory experience. I was able to work in a first-class laboratory with among the first 50 universities of the world.
I was a beneficiary of the Academic Staff Training Development Fellowship. So I was sponsored for my PhD program at the University of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. As an individual, I would say the first is the exposure. So without the opportunity of Tetfund, I doubt if I'll get the exposure in terms of the academia generally. As a science-oriented lecturer, we're actually lacking in Nigeria in terms of facilities But with the exposure, with the opportunity of Tetfund, the exposure to travel outside the country and be exposed to modern technological advancements.
When it comes to elevating the content component of public tertiary institutions, in particular the quality of the faculty, Tetfund remains unequaled. Across Nigerian public universities, the agency has spared no expense, investing over 162 billion naira to sponsor academic staff in pursuit of higher degrees and other qualifications both within and outside the country. Since inception of Tetfund up until July 2021, 3,286 university academic staff members have received PhDs. 1,262 have received master's degrees, 7 received postdoc, and 624 bench work from international institutions with Tetfund scholarships. An additional 3,972 PhDs and 1,641 masters were earned from Tetfund scholarships to institutions within the country, making up a total of 10,791 academic staff members who were more qualified and educated as a result of Tetfund intervention. Dr. Medina Umar of the Physics Department and Dr. Ahmed Salami of the Chemistry Department at the University of Abuja are just 2 out of so many beneficiaries. But the educational qualification they have earned courtesy Tetfund will have a profound effect on the University of Abuja particularly, and the competitiveness of the Nigerian economy as a whole.
With the world-class experience from the laboratory, like I said earlier, I'm able to operate a lot of machines now on my own. Because where I trained, they don't have technologists. You learn and operate for your uses. So that opportunity now has given me the foreknowledge to be able to participate fully in the laboratory activities and practical teachings of the physics courses in the University of Abuja. I teach physics in Nigeria, here in the University of Abuja. And so with the knowledge that I have obtained abroad, I'm able to participate fully. I have a class of almost 1,800 students because here the physics department feeds the vets medicine, the whole of engineering, the College of Medicine, and the whole Faculty of Science, and then Faculty of Agric. And so you see that the trickle-down effect goes around because now that I teach practical courses, I'm also able to give to the students the world-class teaching, especially in the area of laboratory experiences.
First, I would say in terms of training, the knowledge we as beneficiaries will bring back from institutions abroad will benefit the university greatly in terms of training other academic staff, training students, especially postgraduate students. We'll be able to train them in ways that they may not have the opportunity of being exposed to based on our experience. Larger Nigerian society, I think that will be more in the value or the value of products we eventually release into the society from the University of Abuja. So from our training, I want to believe if we train students in advanced technological areas, especially in sciences, when they are released into the society, I believe they will also have more impact in the general society. Yeah.
Any administration requires a befitting and conducive work base to bring out the best ideas from its management and other principal officers. Tetfund has stepped in to ensure that this is also the case with the University of Abuja.
Just recently, we got a 5 billion, high impact grant, that is going to do a Senate building for the university that is exceptionally needed in our university. In fact, very urgently needed, and this is going to be built through this grant. We're going to have an international conference center, which will enable our president to constantly come to campus to deliver a speech. That is superior, in terms of what a university like our own needs. We are the only public university in Nigeria. This is a university where head of state coming to Nigeria should have to come and talk to Nigerians and interact with our young people. Now we have that opportunity, and then the landscaping and so on we're going to be doing. So I must tell you, our university is exceptionally grateful. I mean, I can't even begin to explain, the sense of gratitude that the entire campus has, to what Tetfund is doing.
Research and development is a centerpiece of Tetfund, as well as a passion of the executive secretary. The University of Abuja is also keen to be a major player in this sector.
We are revising and reinvigorating our research agenda, because we do know that Tetfund itself has specific interest in supporting research, given all the programs that has been put in place. And in this university, we want our academic staff and our undergraduate students and postgraduate students to know that research is at the center of it. We have redefined our vision, to research intensive university. You see, and because we are research intensive, we now have a center for undergraduate research, we have a center for sponsor projects, we have the University Research Council. I mean, I can go on and go on and on and on. We just started Emirate, which is the medical research center. So institute. So all these are intended to ensure that we work with industry, we bring out cutting-edge research. We are constantly thinking of solutions for Nigeria. Solution to place Nigeria at par, if not higher, than nations of the world.
Recipients of Tetfund intervention sponsorships had messages for the intervention agency as an inspiration to continue in its efforts to scale up support for higher education in Nigeria.
I would say thank you for what they are doing, and then encourage them to keep giving more. We can't get there just now, but then the much they give, the better will become. And so I would say kudos to them. It's a very good body that is carrying out their duties judiciously. And so I would encourage them to give more opportunities to younger Nigerians. And then what will I say? Perhaps the only area that I see is repository. I would advise that Tetfund should open a repository where all beneficiaries should be able to deposit their research work, and then at a click, we should be able from anywhere in the world assess what projects have been going on, what projects have they sponsored, who are the beneficiaries, because then again, it's not a free fund. These are taxpayers' money. And so the taxpayers should be able to assess the people and for what purposes, which is even if it's just the topics of research, so that in someday, if the country ever wants, or any other body ever wants to go into the archive, they can just go and pull out information and get the right people for the right knowledge to do some research projects for them.
Well, I first want to thank them for the opportunity they provided me and every other academic staff in the university, and I want to encourage them to continue in that direction. I believe on the long run it will be beneficial not only to the university but to the country at large.
The triple helix model of innovation is based on the interactions between the three elements of government, the academia, and the industry, with universities engaging in research, industries producing commercial goods, and governments that are stimulating and regulating markets. As interactions increase within this framework, each component evolves to adopt some characteristics of the other institutions, which then gives rise to hybrid institutions. The strength of the interactions between the government, industry, and universities depends on the government's general relationship to the policy towards higher education and its links to markets. Tetfund has spotted this solution and is working to ensure that the Nigerian academia evolves to become a worthy and productive partner to the industry, which in turn feeds it with investment. And that is the paradigm shift.